All right, welcome guys. Welcome to our financial modeling congruence engineering lesson. In today's video, we have a couple goals. Goal number one is to touch on the importance of financial models, why they're important, how we can use them, and why we need to be at least get some level of comfort with them. Number two is how to build them for our particular business and understand the metrics that are important for the success of our business. And number three is to understand literally how to build it, right? What are the mechanics in Excel, the equations, the tools, the formats that I need to use to build a financial model that I can then take and put into my congruence business to really test my numbers and see where I am. So if you guys are new to financial models, the goal behind a financial model is pretty simple. It's just like a roadmap, right? It's a tool that gives us a barometer for understanding financial success for our business and understanding the cost structure and necessary benchmarks we have to hit to make our business successful. If you guys remember from earlier, one of the things that I am super passionate about and that I hope you guys will start to develop too is that as lifestyle entrepreneurs and truly just the CEOs of our world, we want to be focused on making strategic decisions, right? We want to be focused on making decisions from the top level down, not necessarily from the ground floor, even though we sometimes will have to act at that ground floor in order to get things done. What that means in terms of a financial model is we have to understand the numbers of our business. We have to understand what conversion rates do we have to be successful with, what revenue do we have to be successful with, what is our break-even rate, what are we capable of generating in 3 months, 6 months, a year, and what are we capable of losing if we don't hit XYZ numbers. If we know those numbers and we can build models that help us understand the variables of those numbers, then we can make effective strategic decisions and understand what pieces of our lifestyle business need improvement. Is it our landing page? Is it our email sequences? Is it our conversion page? Is it our price point? Is it anything, right? And so one of the things that I want you guys to take into consideration as you watch this video is start applying this to your business, whether it's a product business, a service business, an online training, anything, doesn't matter. These same principles can be used in that way for your business, and you can then start to gain true control over understanding what money you need to make, what conversion rates you need to hit, and maybe potentially how much money you could make if you just bumped your price up a little bit, right? XYZ, or how much more value could you provide for somebody if you gave them a couple other tools that you were able to then also have small additional revenue charges with as well. So a lot of interesting things can come out of this lesson, and I hope you guys enjoy it. If for some reason you have follow-up questions or just need a little help with your financial models, or even just want a more in-depth template of a financial model to use and start playing with your own business using, feel free to email me at any time. I'm happy to send over this model that you guys are looking at right now, and we can take a look at it together. And, I can even kind of give you some guidance on how to build your own. But more than anything, guys, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you build a congruence-oriented lifestyle business that builds your life in the congruence that you see and that you want. So if there's tools or resources that I have or experience that I can use to help you guys get closer to those goals, please, please, please ask, and I'm always happy to share. Without further ado, then, let's dive into this here. So what you guys are looking at right now is a very, very simple model, although it might look a little complicated. And it was built, I built it in a matter of minutes, pretty quickly off the cuff a couple weeks ago, just thinking about evaluating some different business ideas, right? So what you're going to notice is that there are a couple different numbers in here that have blue. These numbers that are highlighted in blue, and by no means is this the only way to build financial models, but from my experience, when I've worked, the organizations I've worked in, and other models that I've gotten a chance to work on, anything that you are going to use in your model as what we would call a driver, meaning something that is going to, when you change that input, affect and flow through the entire model, we want that thing to be called out differently than other pieces of our model. That's why I have it in blue. So if you see any number in blue in this model, or in any of the models that I've sent you before, you'll know that that means that's the number you change, right? That's the number that we're going to build this model around to really understand the core metrics of our lifestyle business. As you guys can see here, the two numbers we're looking at right now are cost per subscriber and daily budget. Daily budget refers to Facebook advertising. And that's an important thing to remember because that daily budget or that marketing budget in general might be a little different for the different types of marketing and advertising tools you want to use. I'm pretty focused right now on the Facebook advertising tool, so we're going to build our model based on that, which means we have to then calculate based on a 30-day stretch what that looks like. Excuse me, guys, while I change locations here. Get somewhere a little bit more comfortable. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we have to, like I said, we have to remember that this is a daily budget, which means we're going to average about 30 days in our month for our budget, right? So what I did right here is I said, okay, this daily budget of $15 is going to be equal to that number times 30 for our monthly budget. And that's important because we do want to look at things in a monthly overview, right? We want to understand on a month-to-month level what does success look like and what do our costs look like so that we know at the bare minimum or the bare maximum, I could say, I'm going to spend $450 this month on advertising. That's a good thing to know. So you know, depending on what level of revenue or income you're going to be generating from your product or service, you know exactly how much money you need to make or how many you have to sell in order to be successful and not lose money this month. So what we did right here is we said, okay, I have a cost per subscriber number. That's the $249 right here. That's how much it costs me to acquire a new subscriber. That's a pretty good number. You guys have, might have numbers like 5. You could have a dollar like $1.50. You could have something in the mid $3.50 to $4, right? But the key here is to understand what is this cost per subscriber. If you have an actual business that you are out in the world testing right now, calculate this number, and it's pretty simple. You just calculate what you've spent on advertising divided by the number of subscribers you've acquired. Start calculating this number, and then plug it in here so you can start understanding what am I really doing as I build this business? What are the numbers that I'm really hitting? The next, so once we have this number, what we can then say is, okay, based on this budget of $450 a month, I can project that I'm going to get about 113 subscribers, right? And the way to do that is pretty simple. I'm just going to put equals my monthly budget divided by the cost it takes me to acquire a subscriber. And then if I want to, I can change that to get rid of the decimal point and make it a whole number because we don't have half a subscriber. We have 113 subscribers, right? So now you know, based on this cost per subscriber, that daily budget, you are going to acquire about 113 subscribers. Kudos to you guys. That's huge. So now let's get into projecting what that might mean for our revenue. So let's come down right here, and we're going to, this number should be blue, just so we can remember that this is a driver, right? This is what we're going to say the cost of our business is. This is what we're going to charge potential customers to go through, whether it's our product or service or our course or anything. We're going to charge $397. Well, that means that we need to understand how many of these do we have to sell in order to cover this cost right here. And the way to do that is pretty simple. We're going to take this number right here, our advertising budget, and divide it by the number of, or the cost of the course. 1. Okay, so let's take a little bit bigger look here. 1.13. So essentially what that means is that we need to sell 2 or more of these courses, packages, products, etc. to cover the cost of our marketing budget. Okay, that's pretty cool. That also means, just as a reference point, that you're going to be converting 1% of your monthly subscribers into customers. So what that means right here is pretty simple. That's your final conversion rate. And the way we calculate that is by taking this number right here. That's the number of people we have to convert, right? Even though it's a decimal, we're going to work the true percentage, and dividing that by our total subscribers. Well, that equals 1.01%. If you guys are new to lifestyle-oriented businesses or congruence businesses or digital marketing, it's kind of hard to frame the value or success rate of a conversion rate like that. So let's put this into context, right? Let's understand, is that good, is that bad? Well, let's say I come over here and I'm going to build this next part of my model, right? I'm going to say, what if I have a conversion rate of 6%? Let's say 6%. And if I do have a conversion rate of 6%, how many customers does that get me, right? Well, let's see. So if I take this 6%, which you guys can see is in blue, that means it is it's a hard-coded input that we're going to make flow through our entire spreadsheet. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say this number of subscribers times this conversion rate, there we go, equals 7. Okay, so let's say now I've converted 7 customers. What does that mean for my revenue? Well, that's where we get down here, we get to have some fun, right? Let's say, okay, so if I convert 7 customers and the cost of my project is right here, I multiply those two numbers together and I see, hey, look at that, $2,800. That's pretty solid, guys. That's really exciting. So notice that's not a dramatic jump in conversion rates, right? That's 1% to 6%. That's nothing crazy. There's plenty of people that have made that jump. And even crazier still is that there are people out there with a 30% conversion rate. Let's think about that for a moment. And did you notice when I changed this number how all of these numbers changed, right? And all of these numbers right here. This model is built to project out how much monthly income you can generate from your business, and overall then how much is going to be net, right? How much of that is going to be money that comes to you and comes out of your and goes into your pocket. So what we're doing right here is saying if that's what we do, we can repeat this process, right? We now have a formula. Let's go back to, let's say, 10%. We have a formula right here that we can plug into our model and say, I know that I can hit this cost per subscriber, I can spend this much on Facebook advertising, and if I do, I know I'm going to get this number of subscribers, and if I get this number of subscribers, I think I can get to this conversion rate by using a great sales page, a great conversion page. That means I'm going to get 11 customers, and that means I'm going to generate this much income. Well, let's take that and say, okay, that month 2, I can do the same thing because I know exactly what it is. And even better, I can take this money right here. This is so big, guys. This money right here can go back into my funnel, and suddenly, maybe in month 2, I can spend $25 a day. Look where that changes, right? Look how that changes our model. If you know that you can get this conversion rate, maybe you can spend $50 a day, because look, your monthly budget is still only $1,500. So if you are still hitting these conversion numbers, your current customers pay for your new batch of customers. It's not free advertising, but it's about as close as you can get to free advertising and building a list and a customer base for free. And you can do that every single month. And what this model does is it takes us out a year and says, if you do that for a full year, what do you have at the end of the year? You have $160,000. Think about that for a moment. And that's aggressive. Let's say your conversion rate is only 5%. $71,000 just for a 5% conversion rate. Now here's where it gets fun, guys. You can take this model and you can start saying, wow, what if I am able to get my subscriber number, cost per subscriber, down to $3.50? Well, geez, look how that changes. That added almost $13,000 to what you can make over the course of a month. Let's get even crazier. Let's say I can convert and test and A/B test my way to a 15% conversion rate from my audience to my paying customers. Look what that just did. 15% gets you to $288,000. And I know when you guys look at this, it can be very easy to say, okay, well, that's great, but these are just numbers on a screen, right? They're just numbers on a page. They don't mean anything. But the truth is they do. Because this tells you and shows you how the model works, how your business works. When you see guys like Mike Dillard and Tim Ferriss and Tony Robbins and Gary Vaynerchuk and Josh Sherman and all of these really successful digital entrepreneurs, and maybe not all of them, but 90 to 99% of them understand this principle, right? They understand the principles of the model that you're looking at right now. They understand that if they hit these conversion rates, they get this number as their cost per subscriber, they hit this conversion rate, then they can pay for practically unlimited traffic, right? They can pay for $100 a day on Facebook advertising, and the only thing that happens is exponentially their return gets greater. That's the power of the business model that you're trying to implement. I hope you guys have stuck around this far in the video, and if you have, recognize what I just said. That's the power of it. That's why this business model is so impactful. It has the scalability to a certain extent of a startup, right? Of a unicorn startup, but the cost structure, the time investment, and the overhead are so much different than those startups. You can run this business, you can get right here $576,000. You can get right there by spending $3,000 a month on advertising and maybe another $2,000 to $3,000 on virtual assistants and remote help to make sure you still can focus on guiding the business, not running it. That's incredible. And even if you had to spend, look at this, even if you had to spend $15,000 a month just to keep your business afloat, that alone still gives you $33,000 a month to play with. Who out there couldn't do something with an extra $30,000 in their pocket every month? And the truth is, guys, this model gives you the framework, it gives you the roadmap, because now you can take your business and you can say, what am I actually spending to get a subscriber? I had a business I looked at the other week. Their cost per subscriber was higher, $7, right? Well, that changes things. But look at this, guys. It doesn't change it so dramatically. You can spend $10 a subscriber. If you know you can hit these conversion rates, you're still going to be at a point where you're close to 200 grand in income every year just from doing something you love and from sharing knowledge and passion and inspiring others to feel the things you feel through the business that you're creating. This financial model is absolutely up for grabs, and in fact, I'd be happy to send it to you, and I will send it out as soon as we're done with this video. So you guys will have this maybe even as part of the video email that goes out. So take it, use it, play with it. I encourage you guys to really dive into this model and start understanding it, because as soon as you understand what we just talked about, what we just went through with this little 12 to 15 square cell model, what we just did, you are going to change your life. That's the knowledge and the power that can literally build your future from now and now on with financial freedom, financial control, and the freedom to live your congruent life all the time. If you guys have questions, email me. Otherwise, look for the next video on Facebook Pixel and advertising. Thanks.